So after a decent hosting of Zoran Mamdani in the White House, Donald Trump is back like he never left. He left an absolute banger of a Thanksgiving post, and the right is up in arms about it, but in a good way. They're happy about it. They're saying this is the most important post of all time. And of course, I wouldn't even be bringing this up if it wasn't an absolute banger. So let's check this out. Of course, it is literally, I was not lying when I said this is like the longest post ever, maybe that he has ever made. But we're going to read through it right now in the Trump voice to see what he has to say. He says, "A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our," hold on, I'm reading it on the wrong one. "A very happy Thanksgiving salutation to all of our great American citizens and patriots who have been so nice in allowing our country to be divided, disrupted, carved up, murdered, beaten, mugged, and laughed at. Although with certain other foolish countries throughout the world for being politically correct and just plain stupid when it comes to immigration, the official United States foreign population stands at 53 million people according to the U.S. Census, most of which are on welfare from failed nations or from prisons, mental institutions, gangs, or drug cartels." Okay, I have to stop. First and foremost, so we got 53 million people over here from foreign countries, and all of them are gangsters, all of them are criminals, all of them came out of a mental asylum somewhere. Every single last one of them. They just kicked all their worst people out and sent them here. Okay, and well, we got 11 million or so undocumented migrants, but he didn't include all of them, even the people who's supposed to be here. 53 million, and again, most of which are on welfare, which of course is not true, especially if you're undocumented. If you are not a U.S. citizen, you cannot collect welfare or any type of social security benefit because you don't have a social security number. The only time that you can get anything from like Medicaid if you're undocumented is if you get rushed to the ER. If you got your liver hanging out of your side or some shit like that, then you get Medicaid money for the emergency procedure. Other than that, you don't have it because you don't exist on paper. So this is not true. It's never been true. But again, the funniest thing about this is the idea that all of these people are from drug cartels and mental institutions. He continues, "They and their children are supported through massive payments from patriotic American citizens who, because of their beautiful hearts, do not want to openly complain or cause trouble in any way, shape, or form. They put up with what has happened to our country, but it's eating them alive to do so. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 in yearly benefits for their family." What is he talking about? This $50,000 in benefits for 1 year if you have a green card. Again, this isn't true. This isn't true. This does not happen. He knows that. And honestly, right, Republicans know this too. Motherfuckers on the right know this too. They just don't want black and brown people in the country. Period. That's all it's really about. But again, I have to keep stop. A migrant earning $30,000 with a green card will get roughly $50,000 in yearly benefits for their family. Again, he's not going to list any sources. He's not going to drop any explanation. $50,000 in yearly benefits. That is so fucking ridiculous. He continues, "The real migrant population is much higher. This refugee burden is the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II." What is he? Something that did not exist after World War II. Yeah, well, after World War II, we still had, like legal segregation and stuff like that. So there were still lots of issues. "Failed schools, high crime, urban decay, overcrowded hospitals, housing shortages, and large deficits." Actually, and as we know, the crime rate has been steadily dropping over the decades. "As an example, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does brother. Yes, okay, I agree. This is probably the best post he has ever made. Okay, so we got Somalian immigrants just, just parading the streets at night, just running around, what I'm saying, terrorizing motherfuckers in the streets of Minnesota. And then he goes to Tim Walz. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman / woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the U.S. illegally, and that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backwards, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government military. Bro! Bruh, tens of millions of people voted for this dude 3 times. I'm not even halfway done with this goddamn post, bro. I have to start this shit over from where he calls Tim Walz retarded, because this is just too good. This is just too good. Okay. So governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing, either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congressman / woman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab, and who probably came into the USA illegally, and that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated, when her place of origin is a decadent, backward, and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools, etc. Even if we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. Terminate all of our millions of Biden illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidies to non-citizens of our country, denaturalize migrants who undermine domestic tranquility, and deport any foreign national who is a public charge, security risk, or non-compatible with Western civilization. These goals will be pursued with the aim of achieving a major reduction in illegal and disruptive populations, including those admitted through an unauthorized and illegal auto pen approval process. Only reverse migration can fully cure this situation. Other than that, happy Thanksgiving to all, except those that hate, steal, murder, and destroy everything that America stands for. You won't be here for long. Again, the longest tweet ever. We had to read through that. And obviously the mass deportations was one of the things on his platform that got him where he is. Okay. But also, this is all that the Trump administration has left. He can't tout good economic numbers. He'll try to. He'll say, like, actually, prices are lower across the board, lower than they've ever been before. Energy's down, grocery prices are down, the inflation is down. But all of those things are up. So that just isn't true at all. So what else do they really have except but to triple down on this racist mass deportation bullshit? The idea that people, undocumented migrants, are sucking up all of the Social Security, when actually poor white people in rural Republican areas are the main ones sucking up all of the government subsidies. Well, then there's Elon Musk, of course. And then we got the People Hall of Fame banger, Andrew Kovlet. This is officially the all-time most important post from President Trump. An unending stream of third world immigration is crushing our country in countless ways. We need a mandatorium. The left will predictably freak out in their shrill, unhinged adolescent way. Ignore them, just like the wall and stopping the invasion on our southern border. This will prove to be the president's most politically popular policy ever. Repeat, ignore the media, the virtue signaling, and the tantrums from progressives that will come in the next weeks and months. Their whole plan to destroy America requires new voters to transform the body politic. They didn't think he had the guts to do this, and he just proved them wrong. Thank you, Mr. President. Patriotic Americans thank you and are deeply grateful. No, this won't be the most popular move that he's ever made. And then, of course, after he calls them childish, another one, ha ha ha. President calls Tim Walz a retard and said, "Oh, huh." I mean, these people are just complete fucking morons. You know, your policies suck. Every time any of your people are in office, everything goes to shit. But because you're so racist and sexist and homophobic and all of that shit, that none of that matters to you. As long as we're sticking it to the libs, that's all you care about. Even if it's to the detriment of everyone, including you. So, but I had to read that. That was a hell of a tweet. And, let's continue on with the holidays with that warming, heart-touching message from Donald Trump.
Hey now, thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and really helps to support what we do here.